Before you jump into Borderlands 4, there's one big question burning for every Vault Hunter. Which character are you picking first? Do you want to smash enemies with brute elemental power, manipulate gravity like a cosmic scientist, summon spectral allies, or run and gun with over-the-top tech? Today, I'm breaking down every playable Vault Hunter in Borderlands 4 so you can confidently pick the perfect starting character and get ready to dominate from day one. Starting out with Amon the ForgeKnight, a hulking elemental juggernaut who's a tank-mage hybrid wielding elemental weapons that make slicing through psycho meatbags an absolute breeze. His 3 skill trees are Calamity, Cybernetics, and Vengeance. Under the Calamity tree, we have his first action skill, Onslaughter. Amon overloads his Forge Fist, gaining shield regen, bonus fire damage, and increased movement speed during its duration. If you're looking to rocket punch your enemies into orbit and have an affinity for elemental damage, the Calamity tree might be something to look into. His next action skill, Crucible, under the Cybernetics tree, has Amon ready his Forge Axes that can be thrown and picked up off the ground to refund the cooldown. These Fire and Ice Axes also prime an enemy to explode upon death, or when damaged by Forge skills, which deals damage to nearby enemies. Amon's third action skill, Scourge, comes from the Vengeance tree. When activated, he equips his Forge Shield, which absorbs incoming damage from the front and stores it as Vengeance. Once his Vengeance meter is full, Amon gains extra damage reduction. Hitting his action skill again unleashes a powerful Forge Wave, blasting through enemies, dealing ordnance damage. The more Vengeance he builds up, the harder it hits. Basically, it's like getting punched in the face until you're strong enough to punch back even harder, which honestly feels very on brand for Pandora. Amon's strength comes from his elemental versatility, high durability, and high damage control. His weaknesses are his slightly slower movement speed, and his skill synergies aren't quite as tight as other Vault Hunters. Amon's best for players who love melee tanks, elemental combinations, big hairy men, and closing in on enemies. He's fantastic in co-op for shielding allies and creating AoE zones. Up next, we have Harlowe the Gravitar, a genius Maliwan combat scientist who traded the lab coat for the battlefield. Her 3 skill trees are Creative Burst, Cosmic Brilliance, and Seize the Day. Under the Creative Burst tree, we have her first action skill, Chroma Accelerator. Harlowe fires out an unstable energy pocket that can be triggered again to detonate into a blast of radiation damage. It's the kind of combo that makes Maliwan engineers drool, freezing, nuking, and humiliating enemies in one glorious scientific meltdown. And depending on which capstones you pick, you can turn the battlefield into a bullet hell for your foes. This is the skill tree I'm going to be using during my first playthrough that you can find on Twitch in the description below. Her next action skill is Flux Generator, coming from the Cosmic Brilliance tree. Harlowe throws her Flux Generator in front of her, projecting an energy bubble dealing cryo damage and entangling enemies inside. And if that's not enough, any allies within the bubble gain an overshield. And fear not, as you can also be mobile with this bubble shield, pressing the action skill again, allowing you to pick up the Flux Generator, and tossing it, allowing for versatility. Her third action skill, Zero Point, is tied to the Seize the Day tree. This one suspends enemies in a stasis bubble, completely locking them down while you and your friends get free shots in. It's basically putting psychos in timeout before reactivating the skill and slamming them into the ground, causing an AoE explosion. Harlowe's strengths lie in her ability to control the battlefield, locking enemies down, chaining damage, and turning mob fights into highlight reels. She thrives in co-op where her setups make teammates look like absolute gods. I can't wait to play it. Her weakness, however, bosses typically shrug off her stasis effects, and her Chroma Accelerator may not be big enough burst to make up for the lack of constant DPS. And her action skills are a little less flashy than big hammer slams or ninja-like slicing and dicing. Harlowe is best for players who love tactical control, clever combos, and feeling like a mad scientist. On to Rafa the Exo-Soldier. He's fast, aggressive, and loves nothing more than turning the battlefield into a blur of explosions and flying bullet casings. Rafa's 3 skill trees are Remote Agent, This Year's Gimmick, and People Person. Up first is the Peacekeeper Cannons from the Remote Agent skill tree. Rafa equips twin cannons that automatically fire at whatever's unlucky enough to be in your crosshairs, dealing straight up kinetic gun damage. Hold the action skill button to cut the ability short and refund some of the cooldown. Basically, it's a tactical reload for people who don't believe in any tactics. arc knives from this year's gimmick skill tree, Rafa trades firepower for electrified blades. These deal melee damage and mark enemies when struck. The more marks stacked, the more shocking the payback. You can dash forward with your blades to apply shocking damage and reactivate the ability to detonate all the marks in one glorious chain reaction. Yes, all the marks. And no, Marcus doesn't offer a warranty for body parts. And his third skill tree, Apophis Lance from the People Person skill tree. Rafa equips an offhand arm cannon that tanks his gun handling, but lets him fire piercing, shocking ordnance. Tap the ADS for quick blasts, or hold to charge the shot for bigger, faster, and hard-hitting bolts at the cost of more charges spent. Think sniper rifle if the sniper rifle was also Thunder God's middle finger. Rafa's strengths are speed and versatility, cannons for range, blades for up close, or mix of both for chaotic run-and-gun mayhem style. His weakness? He's not built to take hits like Amon, so if you stop moving, you're basically target practice. He rewards aggression and momentum. Standing still is basically the only way to lose with him. Rafa is perfect for players who want pure high-octane chaos. If you ever thought, what if Titanfall, but with more explosions and screaming psychos? For our final starting Vault Hunter, we have Vex the Siren. Every Borderlands game has that one siren who bends realities in ways that make enemies question whether physics ever mattered in the first place. Vex is no exception. She's sleek, stylish, and fights like she's choreographing chaos. Vex's three skill trees are Here Comes Trouble, Vexcalation, and the Fourth Seal. Up first, we have Phase Familiar from the Here Comes Trouble skill tree. Vex is joined by her minion Trouble. Pressing the action skill again causes you to teleport to Trouble, dealing damage in an AoE around you. Trouble then transforms into a badass, fully restoring health and gaining increased damage for a duration. If Trouble is dead, then activating your action skill will re-summon Trouble to your side. If you want to feel like a summoner in Borderlands, this might be your calling. Her next action skill is Incarnate, from the Vexcalation skill tree. Vex sprouts wings and creates a phase explosion, dealing damage to nearby enemies and fully restoring her health. During its duration, Vex gains the ability to fire off Eldritch Blasts and gains increased movement speed. Dealing gun damage reduces Eldritch Blast cooldown, so be sure to run and gun while this is active. Vex's final action skill is Deadringer, from the Fourth Seal skill tree. She spawns phase clone minions with the flexibility of choosing Spectres or Reapers during the duration. During their duration, they will match the attunement of Vex's current elemental type, but lose an ever-increasing amount of health until they fade out. This ability has the flexibility of both melee or ranged clones, providing either healing or massive damage. Vex's strength comes from her versatility in the skill tree and being able to adapt to almost every situation in the game. Bossing, mobbing, and traversing the map will be a breeze. Vex is best for players who love playing sirens, summoning companions to take on the world, and having one character that can fit into all situations. Each of these Vault Hunters and skill trees can be augmented, and I will be doing deeper dives into each character in later videos. Every Vault Hunter brings something totally different to the table, and honestly, there's no wrong choice. Personally, I'm going with Harlowe as my first character, and I'll probably play Vex next. If this video helped you figure out who you're rolling with on day one, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss my upcoming Borderlands 4 guides. I'll be breaking down builds, endgame strategies, and all the crazy loot we're going to be grinding for. And hey, if you want to hang out live, theorycraft builds, or watch me scream at psychos in real time, catch me over on Twitch. We're going to be streaming Borderlands 4 the second it drops, and trust me, you don't want to miss the chaos.